Well, my fellow Driftomaniacs, may I present to you the Traxxas Rally on its first outdoor bash. Now I brought it down to shell sands, not for the jumps, but mainly because of this nice loose surface, so let's go have some fun. And believe me, this thing is designed for this stuff. Well, while it's mainly sort of road biased, it will take the bump. Okay, running 2S back on here today, which has been good for about 17 miles an hour on the GPS there, despite the rally. Not having the most hugest ground clearance, I thought it's a good place to bring it down. It's not that I'm going to go wild on the jumps down here, but this loose surface is kind of what it was made for. Highly, highly chuckable. Got to be done. Traditional water splash, a hallmark of British rallying. And that wasn't very good at all there, Rich. Let's have another go. Come on, we just tried it off camera and it worked. Yay! There we go. Changes direction frighteningly quickly. Very, very, what I'd call chuckable. This is very much, I would say, the kind of terrain it's made for. It's just handling this beautifully. Got enough suspension travel on there to soak the bumps up. As I said, the water doesn't seem to trouble it over much, but we don't want to go in too deep. That ground clearance is showing itself to be a factor, but nonetheless, you want to get something that get good and muddy with. This is, and you only need a huge space to do this in. Well, people might fall Traxxas, but you can't find the handle in this thing. Well, you can turn in mid-air and it still lands fine. It's great, highly, highly chuckable. It's just running 2S today. On here. How long the battery's going to last? Ooh. The steering is very good on it actually. If you head back round the same way pretty quick. Top speed. Only about 70 miles an hour with this gearing on, but its ability to change direction on all those lines, second to none. You don't necessarily need to have high speed to have a lot of fun, because I'm loving how chuckable this thing is. Yeah, this is very much, I'm guessing, the kind of terrain Traxxas had when they came up with the rally concept. Steering, very impressive on it. Now, I am going to be featuring this car in my sub 300 RC multi-car test coming up, so don't want to miss that one. Then don't forget to subscribe. So I'm going to chuck quite a bit at it today. Water, bumps, and a combination of the two. Yeah, that was close. You can just flick the tail out on demand, but it's still quite predictable. Just enough power for this 2S setup to be able to steer it on the throttle. So I've got perfect grip on here. It will just change direction like, ooh, hell that loose. Well, I was panicking for a minute there, guys. This thing just stopped dead, no power, nothing. But turn the battery, turn the power pack back on, and it seems absolutely fine. As I say, not a huge top speed on it, but I'm going to be modifying it quite a bit. Ideal, this car I would say would be ideal for learning to RC on actually, because it is very, very what I call chuckable, for want of a better word. Handling is quite forgiving. You can get a drift and hold the drift, which is always good. And yeah, it's got enough suspension travel to cope with the odd jump. Might be waterproof, but there's waterproof and there's waterproof. Now, as I said, 70 mile an hour top speed. So you're going to get a little bit of air, but it's not necessarily, that's not what this car's about, getting air. For sure. It is that chuckability factor, I would say. You can't adjust the steering dual rate. At times, Maybe wish you could maybe put a little bit more lock on at the times. There's almost too much lock on there. Run. As I say, the thing's not setting any speed records, but that's most definitely not where this car is coming from. In fact, the handles, the whoops, the best of one of the cars that I've driven along here. Well, I have to say, guys, this thing is putting out with just as much abuse for a first bash as you could possibly ask. As I say, I'm not going to pick on a huge air, because that's not where this car is coming from. But its chuckability, you just got to love it. Oh, well, driven 3 of these before, and I've been quite impressed. Everyone's handled very differently. All the others have been brushless, so I shall inevitably be a Berlinian set up to this. But endless donuts, must be feeling hungry. Just too much fun at times, this job. Not a job, is it, boys? Whoa. Well, guys, on that note, before the battery dies and I have a long walk back to the car, I'm going to call an end to my Traxxas Rally Fiesta ST first bashing session. I don't know, one little blip with the battery there, which I'm not quite sure what happened, but it recovered itself. It has done absolutely sterling service today. Anyway, guys, plenty more planned for this car. As I said, lots of mods. First of all, I'm going to play around with the gearing, then I'm going to tweak the suspension, then I'm going to fit the Berlinian setup, and who knows, maybe a castle in future. The one thing I'm not going to go mad on is gearing this for speed. It's going to be all about acceleration, tire shredding on there. Anyway, you don't want to miss that, then don't forget to subscribe.
We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it.